Alright guys, welcome back to Hundley TA. It is Thursday, and we're back here checking out SPY once again. Things are looking pretty good. We did have this fall off here. Kind of topped out here at these more previous highs. I'm still not too worried. It continues to make higher lows. Had a nice bounce off some sort of support level here. So it's found some buying pressure and it's on its way back up. This trade's still looking pretty solid in my opinion, although it is just a trade I took on paper, as I don't really trade SPY, but I like to follow it because it does drive overall market sentiment. So things looking pretty good there. We're gonna move on to Bitcoin now. I want to talk about how it's just continuing to range, a little bit boring, but if you start to look at patterns and potential trade opportunities, you can see these pretty clear support and resistance zones have been very, very well respected over the past month or so. So you had some easy shorts and longs on either side here. If I was on top of my stuff, I would have had a long order ready to go right there. And there's really no reason why I shouldn't have. But anyway, we could take a look at taking a short here, but considering this pretty deep spike here recorded a higher high, which by the way is the highest high we've seen over the past year or so, which is good news in overall trajectory. It could still be held down by this zone, even though it did make that high, but yeah, just for that reason I'm gonna sit out on this next test of this resistance zone here. But if it does in fact reject there, then I'll definitely put an order in at the support here. But it does have to make its way up there in the first place, so we do have a long ways to go to kind of see where Bitcoin is headed. Alright, we're moving on to Forex. GBP USD moving in the right direction, broke this downtrend, that thing is gone. So we're moving up, higher highs, higher lows. Love to see it. Euro CAD starting to make its way to this zone here. I'm hoping it will trigger my entry there. If we zoom out in the 4 hour, this zone probably makes a little more sense. It's pretty clean. I think I did take a long back here at this zone before. It didn't work out, but it seems to be more of a resistance zone than anything. I mean, it had some small tests as support, but yeah, the resistance seems to really hold up. So hopefully that gets executed here shortly. CAD CHF dumped down straight through the support zone here on the 1 hour. It's kind of a weak zone to begin with. Probably not a good idea to trade that. If I was watching really closely, this waterfall look, every time I see that, it's just major red flags for dumpage. So there's a lot of warning signs. Probably just should have taken that trade to begin with. Hoping it comes back for the retest here though. I want to get in on a short, which just continues to dump lower and lower here. So AOD CAD hasn't reached my entry yet, so we got a ways to go with that one. USCHF, same thing. AOD JPY had a nice test of this resistance zone and fell into my profit target. See what happens here with this support zone here. Wasn't ready to take a long there. Probably could have, but historically doesn't work out too terribly well as a support. So see what happens here. If it breaks down beneath that, I will be ready to place a short order on the retest there. NZD CAD just entered here. If we zoom out a little bit on the 4 hour, you can get a better picture. What's going on here? I have my stop well above the resistance zone here, hopefully enough. We got this downtrend keeping price down, so hopefully that is respected and price gets rejected here. You got AD, unfortunately, swooped right up before even coming down to the support zone, so would have been a nice trade if it did enter, just blast it off, but it did not. So this one is probably gonna be taken off my watches for now. And then we have CHF JPY, another hourly trade. I've been doing more and more of these with these purple zones, but it just crashed and went right to my stop there. I figured JPY was still on a tear, but it looks like it's starting to have a little bit more selling pressure, starting to range a little bit more in most of these pairings, so may not be an all buy type currency right now anymore. So yeah, and another thing with this one, since this trade didn't work out and it just kind of like price just kind of went in and out of it, like it wasn't even there, I'm just gonna ignore this zone. It's no longer a viable zone, unfortunately. So anyway, on to Euro NZD. This one had a nice pop up, almost hit my stop, then came all the way back down to this initial entry zone. So this trend line still continues to hold up, still making our higher lows, heading in the right direction. So I still feel pretty optimistic about this one. Just got a while more to wait, which is unfortunate. Alright, we got gold USD here. Same kind of thing, just in reverse. Bam, bam, just making lower highs, which is we like to see. Hopefully it can fall down and make that lower low and hopefully trigger my profit. There, GBPCHF, still trying to find the selling pressure to reject there, but I think it should. I don't know, we'll see. Euro USD. This one I was heavily considering exiting early because this downward movement was pretty obvious that it wasn't going to work out. Ultimately, I decided to just let it play out. I think it's probably better to let my trades play out, even if I can save a loss, because then my system and my data that feeds my system is, clean and intact, and it gives me a better outlook on how my win rate looks and my profitability. So it's too bad, but my system takes losses into account, so as long as I have risk management, I'm okay. Alright, GBP/NZD almost hit my target here, bounced off the support zone. It's too bad it didn't go deeper into that zone, but and yeah, maybe I should have looked at a tighter stop after this rejected here and moved my profit target up a little bit. That's something I could have considered there, but it is too late for that. USD CAD, taking this one off the books. This is broken above that support zone. I was initially thinking about taking a long here. I think that could work out. Yeah, I might look at that. So just put that there. Make sure the stop is, if the stop is that deep, that may be a problem. Well, something like that might work out, so I may put that one on the books. I just don't know if that's convincing enough of a break. The only concern there, this is on the 4 hour though, so that is a 4 hour zone. I don't know, I still think that looks pretty decent. You can see these wicks on the top end showing that it's starting to hit some sell pressure, but I'll watch it. I won't put the trade on the books immediately, but we'll watch it. NZDUSD, I just keep hoping this one comes up to this zone, because I really like how these zones have worked out for me, but it just doesn't look like it's going to be doing that anytime soon. So we'll move on. AUD NZD did work out. There's a perfect break and retest, and short right into profit. Continues to dump down. If we see it break beneath this zone, probably look at another short there. Tends to get rejected pretty well as resistance at this zone. So GBP CAD missed out on this nice break and retest opportunity here, but yeah, it's on fire. It's going to the moon. Yeah, I just don't really see if there's any other zones that could get in on a long there. Your GBP did break down. It did exit in profit on my short here, but my long was not successful. And now it's at its lowest lows currently. So I have to see if this will continue dumping down. If it does break this zone, definitely look at a break and retest possibly. Although I do like to take a little bit of caution when it breaks lowest lows, because you can see something like this happens. If I had to take a short right there, my stop probably would have been busted there. Same thing down here. I would have looked at these lowest lows as a resistance zone. Initially rejected there, but then continued up from there. So maybe not a great idea if it does break these lows, but we could look at a short at a higher zone like here or something. But yeah, that's way in the future. A lot of theoreticals going on there. NZD-JPY had a nice bounce off here, heading in the right direction. We'll just hopefully continues up, but still got a little bit of ways to go. EUR-JPY break and retest on the resistance zone. Still trying to find rejection there. NZD-CHF, fortunately another unsuccessful trade on the 1 hour here, and I think this is probably a zone I will take off my chart so I don't fall into that position again. But yeah, this is another one where I doubled up on a currency that was moving in the same direction. Let's see, CHF JPY, which one was it? Yeah, CHF JPY and NZD CHF, both were trending down. And I actually thought that at the time. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't double up on currencies. I don't like doing that. They're trending in the same direction. But I ended up doing it, and it burned me this time. So definitely got to be more vigilant on that in the future. But yeah, anyway, that's a lot to get to today. But thanks for sticking with me, and make sure you leave a comment of what you guys have been trading, and hit that like and subscribe on your way out.